Councillor Federica. All in favor? Thank you. And we will now move on to water matters. And this is interesting because it's water matters, but it's really the 5-year financial plan. And water is not included in this because the papers and all of the information that we had needed to be sent to the minister. So we have not received that back yet. Am I correct?
You're correct, but water is still included in the 5-year financial, just the water, the town water bylaw and the water district bylaws are still fitting with the inspected municipality.
Thank you very much. That's absolutely right. All right, so we do have the 5-year financial plan that is looking for to be adopted today. And on the third, we returned to third reading on the 9th of January, and we read the third time as amended on the 26th day of March. And today we are looking for the adoption of this bylaw. I will turn it over to council. What is your wish, council? Councillor Federica.
Your worship, I move for adoption of bylaw.
Thank you. Is there a secondary? Councillor Chong. Is there anyone who would like to make any comments on this? I'm just going, before we take the vote, I'm just going to say that that council and staff have done a great deal of work on this bylaw for the past several months. And we've listened, we've discussed, we've read, we've changed, we've adapted things, and I think that we have we've done a good job of really looking at all of the angles on this. And so I think in order to have this ready to be sent, we have to have this adopted within the next month. So today would be a good day to do that and move on. So it has been moved and seconded that the 5-year financial plan be adopted. All in favor? Against? Thank you very much. That becomes a motion and a bylaw of council now. So we will now look at staff reports. And the first one is general net payroll and Sunville Arena financial accounts. And as of April the 9th, general cash requirements are in the amount of $749,818.87. Sunville cash requirements of $27,392.31. And net payroll accounts of $117,108.88. Could we have a motion, please, to accept this for information? Councillor Chong, Councillor King, all in favor? Thank you. And next is the building permit. And that the building permit for the month of March, yes, was $1,781,000, and to total to date is $2,778,000, which is $1 million more than last year at the same date. So there are some single family dwellings, swimming pool, security building, and park model sightings. So could we please, yes.
Thank you, Member. Can you tell me that 2615 Acre Drive, which property that is?
It's Oasis.
Pardon?
The Oasis.
Oasis, okay, thank you.
Okay. So could we please have a motion to receive the building report for information? Thank you, Councillor King, Councillor Bennett, all in favor? Thank you. And next are bylaws, and this is the town of Suias sewer bylaws, sewer regulations and rates amendment bylaw. And I do not think that we need to have a report on this. This bylaw was read for a first, second, and third time on the 26th day of March. And today we are looking for the adoption of the sewer regulations and rates bylaw. Is there someone who would like to?
I'll move it.
Councillor King, is there a seconder? Councillor Chong? All in favor? Thank you very much. That's passed. And we will now go to reports from committees and CAL meetings. And this was a motion that was carried this morning. And so I would need to have a motion that council direct administration that the following off-street vehicle parking regulations be included in the draft, excuse me, in the draft town of Assyria zoning bylaw. The cash in lieu payment amount for off-street parking, vehicle parking spaces be increased from $3,000 to $10,000. And that electric vehicle charging outlets be required for new building projects. Could I have a motion, please, or to do this? Councillor King, Councillor Chong, all in favor? Thank you, that's carried. And also from this morning, we had another one, report from the planner. And could I please have a motion to, for this point, that council direct administration to bring the following amendment bylaws forward for consideration of first reading at a subsequent council meeting. Official Community Plan Amendment Bylaw number 1375.04 2024, and that the following amendment bylaws be brought forward for consideration of first three readings at a subsequent council meeting. Land Use Procedures Amendment Bylaw number 1235.08 and 2024, and Municipal Ticket Information Amendment Bylaw number 1279.21 2024. Could I have a motion to move those? Thank you. Councillor Chong, Councillor Quadriga, all in favor. Thank you, everyone. And now we will look for the Chief Administrator's Officer's report. Thank you, Mr. Risman.
Thank you, Your Worship. There's been a few things going on the last couple of weeks, getting ready for the summer. Moby mats have been placed at the beaches, so pretty soon people will go out there and start swimming. The Art Center, the abatement is complete and the facility reopened, so that was a pretty substantial amount ahead of time, so that was really good. The project went extremely well. We thought it was going to be significantly longer, but we did a fantastic job. There was the wellness fair was held this past Saturday. A lot of cars and a lot of people I know showed up. Last day of ice is April 28th. I was from the corporate services area working on FOI requests. Now we're up to 13 of the requests received so far to date. Working at the random auditing reports in the finance area. Couple things from the fire department. They received a check from the Rotary Club last week, and they did one of those gift forward things. They decided to give it back to Sergeant Beta to go towards a life jacket program that we've been talking about for the past year. So hats off to the Fighters Society. And there's been a lot of good things happening with the fire department as far as cross training and working with Oliver in the region. Last weekend they were in Oliver taking an engine boss course, and this upcoming weekend we're hosting one with regards to pumps. So utilizing the funds that they have, building camaraderie, and I think that's a great thing for the region. And I think council will talk about this, but the Easter extravaganza that occurred a couple weeks ago, again, the firefighters were out full force, and we gave away 180 hot dogs and raised over $1,000. So fantastic work on their behalf again. New businesses in town: Sun Peaks Blinds and Drapery, and Prime Exterior are two new businesses that are opening up in town. And from operational services perspective, you see them working out there, been cleaning parks. The last few days have been road marking signs. So there's a lot of things going on, getting ready for the tourist season. And I think the last thing I'd just like to bring council's mention is, Ms. Hilson. She's been with the corporation for in excess of 20 years. I've known her for 2 years. I've seen somebody that's extremely dedicated to the corporation and the community as a whole. I know over the past year, I don't think there was a day that when she did book off on vacation that she didn't do some work for the corporation. I'm not exaggerating on that. I don't know if there was a day that she actually was able to take off last year. Just a remarkable person, remarkable public servant, and I know I'm gonna miss her, and I know the rest of the team is, and I don't think the community knows it yet, but they're going to be missing her as well. So I just want to say that, and obviously wish her all the best in her new career. That sums up my report.
Thank you, Mr. Risling. Could we have a motion to receive the CLO report, please? Councilor King, all in favor? Thank you. We'll go on to council reports. Councilor King, you're first.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I attended a Community Service Advisory Committee last week. We had a presentation, I think his name is Ken, the fellow that owns Los Amigos, the business that had to burn down. He's hoping to create a big event on the Canada Long Weekend, and I think Mr. Davis will more likely bring something forward at the next council meeting.
Great, thank you. Councilor Dash.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. April 8th, I spent the afternoon with Mark Woods, who's a regional district senior management for community service. And we talked about the trails of the Okanagan, and one of the discussions was having signage going through the town of Osoyoos from connecting the rail trail. So it'd be coming through from 87th through town down to the US border. And last night I had a board meeting with the Trails of the Okanagan. And it looks like we're getting some more funding coming from Peachland to West Colony area. And then this morning I had breakfast with our more Okanagan Regional Library CEO, Daniel Hoover. We discussed the Soyuz Regional Library. And best of luck in your new position, Brianna.
Thank you. Councilor Chong.
Thank you. I don't have much to report, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to thank Director Hilson. It was mine and Councilor Potter's first experience with public service, and your dedication and your help has been huge in really shallowing that learning curve. So you will be hugely missed.
Thank you. Councilor Potter.
Thank you, Your Worship. That's been short and sweet too, but April 3rd attended the CHOC meeting. We had Ellen Walker. He's from Total BC, Total BC with us again. Talking about obviously what's going on within the industry within the valley, and I actually want to echo the comments and thank Director Wilson for the service she provided to our community for years. I've kind of fortunate knowing her since they first moved to Lucia, so you will be truly missed. You've been a good asset to this community, to council, especially to Councilor Chong and myself, as we've adapted to our new roles, and well, thank you for that. That will show that. Thank you.
Thank you. And so first of all, in my report, I want to say that I'm wearing a daffodil because April is Cancer Month, and so I have several of them, fortunately, on several different jackets. So I keep one in my car, so I always have one available to wear. Please remember to think about donating to the Cancer Society this month. So on, I've had 2 meetings over the last while with the regional district. And sometimes I can do it on Zoom, sometimes I have to be actually in the building, and that's fine. One of them, we were talking, and mostly it was about rural areas, but those of us in the municipalities are quite interested in listening to what the concerns are, a lot of it on housing, tiny homes, all kinds of different definitions of tiny homes. You know, homes that can be moved, homes that are just smaller than others, but normally tiny homes have to follow the building code, and they have to be hooked up to water and sewer or have that available. And RVs, vacation rentals is a big thing in the rural areas, but short-term rentals are also included. And then one of the other meetings, we talked a lot about water and wastewater, mostly rural areas that are concerned with this, but you know, everybody seems to be having concerns about water and wastewater. I was at the Okanagan Basin Water Board meeting as well. We have meetings in several different places, North Okanagan, Central Okanagan, and South Okanagan. And this one was in Coldstream. So I had to leave my house at 6:30 to get there, 6:30 a.m. And so it's a 3-hour drive up there and for a 4-hour meeting and then a 3-hour drive back. So fortunately, it only happens twice a year. But we had a presentation from somebody from, and I forgot which ministry, but it was on highway spills. And we had quite a concern. A couple of months ago, there was a spill, a fire and a spill on the connector. And we were concerned about the truck spilling its fuel or whatever it was carrying, and that wasn't clear, into the water. And so we had quite a presentation on that, what the procedure is, how they look at it, and how they make sure that any damage that is done there's mitigation for that. And they also talk to the carrier and talk to the ministry. So it was brought up and it was quite an interesting conversation. I was also on a meeting with Minister Kang, Minister Ma, and Minister Ralston, who were just bringing us up to date on the information that we need to know in the spring. Certainly active wildfires, they've already started and they're quite concerned about that. There is a training session for BC Wildfire in Kamloops. They're going to train 250 people quite quickly in order to have them ready for the fire season. Minister Cullen's department was also represented, 66% of normal for the snowpack, and they're quite concerned about drought readiness, drought preparedness, and protecting fish and critical habitat. And so interestingly, he's Jonathan Boyd, he's with BC River Forecast, I think. He said that it's 66% of normal for water up in the hills right now. The lowest apparently was in 1977, 53%. And honestly, that's the first time I heard about that. So obviously it wasn't brought forward as much of a concern at that time. So South Okanagan is a little bit better off than other places in BC at this point. And it's at 80 to 89% of normal. So if we have hot weather and things melt quickly, that's going to affect that. And BC Wildfire, Cliff Chapman was on talking about drought and talking about El Nino, not anticipating any rain. And there is an interactive map on BC Wildfire that shows where fire restrictions are in, what you can do, and apparently it's a public website so that anybody can go on and have a look at it. And so it's 350 being trained by BC Wildfire. I thought it was 250. And his suggestion and recommendation was communities must work together to protect our landscape. And I know that EMCR, Emergency Management Climate Readiness, is another group, Minister Mosh. They've been working with everybody right now. And so I will attend these meetings. They're quite common to have them. They're on you phone in, you have to register first, and there's lots of information on there. So that was an interesting one to be with. And of course, as a member of the Festival Society, I was down at Easter for the day, and it was very well attended. There were lots of people that came down for the egg hunt. There were 7,500 eggs, I think, scattered on the ground. There was a bonnet contest and a bike decorating contest. And I did make a complaint to the fire department, because, they were to serve hot dogs from 11 until 1. And I went at 11:45 and they had sold out. So, I think that might have been, Councillor Poderica's fault, because I think he got the hot dogs from Nesters. However, we were very happy to see that it was very well supported, and so that was wonderful. Unfortunately, I didn't take a hot dog. But it was a great day. It was finished up and there were lots of volunteers down there helping. And as a matter of fact, the pancake breakfast put on by the Rotary was very well attended to. I don't know how many breakfasts you served, but 150, okay, good. Councillor Poderica had been working. He arrived down just in time to help me pack up all the garbage and put away the garbage cans, which was definitely appreciated. So it was a very good day. I just want to mention Mrs. Hilson as well. She's just been a godsend, and everybody else has said this too, to our community. My first job, well, one of them, was I was a volunteer and I worked at the visitor center. And Mrs. Hilson was the paid person, so she got lunch hour and she got to go home for lunch, but I didn't. I wasn't paid and I had to stay there by myself. That was the first time, and Brianne and I still laugh about that. You know, Brianne, you have worked so hard for the town of Vesuvius and you have been so knowledgeable about all of the things that we needed to do, and honestly, we are going to miss you very, very much. We certainly understand, moving back to a community that's a little larger, and it's one that you know, because you used to live there. And we absolutely wish you all the best. You have, we're really gonna miss you. So thank you, everyone. We will move into the in-camera section. And pursuant to section 91 of the community charter, a part of the council meeting may be closed to the public if the subject matter being considered relates to one or more of the following. Section 91C, labor relations or other employee relations. 91G, litigation or potential litigation affecting the municipality. Could I have a motion, please, to move? Thank you, Councillor Poderica.